sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Ohio.
It is Roberto Clemente Day throughout Major League Baseball as we celebrate the life and the career of a man many consider the patron saint of Puerto Rico. Clemente finished his Hall of Fame career with 3,000 hits and ultimately gave his life trying to save earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Welcome to Roberto Clemente Day, downtown Cleveland, Ohio. It's the finale of the homestand and a three-game series between the Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. When you think of Roberto Clemente, you think of a man who played with such rage, but also with an elegance and a grace. I mean, he was an incredible ball player, taken far too soon from us.
Certainly was. When you look at the numbers, I mean, really, Hall of Fame numbers, no doubt. 12 gold gloves, an MVP World Series, an NL MVP. He was a terrific ball player, a great right fielder, but that pales in comparison of the kind of person that this man truly was, because everybody loved him throughout the game of baseball.
When we were in Puerto Rico earlier this year in April, I know Andre and I were really struck by just how vibrant the memories people have down there are of Roberto Clemente. And when you think about the fact that he died in 1972, he hasn't been around in a long time, but you wouldn't know when you walk the streets of Puerto Rico, especially in old San Juan. All right, it's Indians and the Royals today, and Corey Kluber is putting together another potential Cy Young Award season.
He certainly is, and his last start against Tampa, he was dealing. He had that thing moving east and west and north and south. You remember, the first two guys reached base, and then he locked in. Something clicked for him. He went on 2-hit, 7 shutout innings. He got his 17th win, and he continues to roll. And if he finishes like he has in the past, this could be another Cy Young season for Corey Kluber. He's 17-7 this year, but you look back in 2014, he only had 13 wins. Last year, he had 18 wins, 262 strikeouts. This year, he doesn't have that many, but he is still winning baseball games.
All right, we'll be back with today's first pitch between Cleveland and Kansas City. Alan Jensen will have the showstopper, and Andre Knott catches up with the Indians' Roberto Clemente Award nominee Carlos Carrasco next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians, and by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
Stan, it's off to Toronto tomorrow, but first things first, Corey Kluber on the mound today as the Indians will try to beat the Royals, win the series, and leave Cleveland on a good note here in September. Welcome back to center field. Along with Jensen Lewis, I'm Al Pulowski. Let's take a look at yesterday's showstopper, Yankees and A's. And Luke Voigt got a changeup. He let it go the first time. Fernando Rodney tried to get another changeup by him. He fails. Home run, Yankees win.
Yeah, it was definitely a tie-breaking eighth-inning blast the Yankees needed. They rally for a 5-1 victory. That's Voigt's third consecutive game with a homer. And more importantly, it gets the Yankees back to a 4.5-game lead in the wild card. They'll send their ace, Luis Severino, against Mike Fiers against the A's in the series finale out west.
Wild card standings for you. Yes, Tampa Bay is 7 back, but that is quite a margin to make up. Seattle 5.5 back. That'll be tough too. But if Oakland continues to struggle here this week, who knows what could happen?
Well, the Yankees going to get some guys back from injury, some timely reinforcements, and who knows? They get hot at the right time. Could be exactly how they were last year coming out of the wild card game.
Speaking of heat, both these teams dealing with that today. No question about it. We sent it upstairs to Matt Underwood and Rick Manning. And guys, it is going to be another hot one today here in Cleveland.
Let's go back to Luke Voigt. My man is built like a beer keg.
Yes, he is.
Wow. Huh?
Yeah, he smoked it. He's having a nice. It's been a nice
just what the
find for
Yankees
them.
need, another home run hitter.
Right.
Well, the Indians' magic number is down to 10. And they wrap up this series today against the Kansas City Royals, trying to take 2 out of 3. They've been pretty good in rubber matches. Lost the last one, though, here to Tampa Bay on Sunday. We'll see if they can turn that around back in their favor this afternoon. Roberto Clemente Day, and the Indians nominee is a familiar one. With more on that, we go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yes, for the second year in a row, Carlos Carrasco is the team's Roberto Clemente he's been nominated to win the award. It's something that's very important to him. He's given books out. He's done giving back school supplies to kids, not only in America, but back in Puerto Rico, in the Dominican Republic. He's trying to help everywhere as much as he can, and it means a ton to him.
This means a lot for everyone. I think he was a great gentleman, you know, who helped the community in a lot of places. And pretty much everyone knows the stories behind Roberto Clemente, what he did. So it's really special to be nominated to a Roberto Clemente Award.
You've been nominated a few years now, and I know you're going to continue doing your work. You received an award in Puerto Rico for your work. What does that mean to you that people are starting to recognize the work you're doing outside of baseball?
You know what? It's really nice to see that, you know. It's really special, but, you know, at the same time, I just want to help a lot of people, you know. Any situation, you know, that's what I've been doing for the last couple years, and we continue to do that.
Well, congratulations to Carlos Carrasco, and good luck. Hopefully this year he gets the nod and brings home the Roberto Clemente Award.
Yeah, he does a nice job. Now time to focus to the game on hand. That's Corey Kluber, who's going to be our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher this afternoon, making his 29th start. Kluber 17-7 on the year, 2-1 in 3 starts against Kansas City, coming off a tremendous start against Tampa, where he went 7 innings, 2 hits, had 8 strikeouts, walked 2, and did not allow a run. So Corey going to try and get number 18 today.
And the lineup he will oppose for Ned Yost and the Kansas City Royals will look like this. Whit Merrifield will lead off. He's DHing today. Alex Gordon in left will bat second. Hunter Dozier at third, batting third. Ryan O'Hearn at first will bat cleanup. Jorge Bonifacio, the right fielder, as expected, will hit fifth. Ryan Goodwin in center batting sixth. Rosel Herrera will play second base and bat seventh. Then it's Alcides Escobar at short. And Maybreeze Villarreal will catch and bat ninth.
And let's check out the Ram defense for the Indians. Brantley is back in there in left field. Greg Allen back in center. Cabrera over and right. Yandy Diaz gets the start at third as Ramirez will get the day off. Lindor at short. Kipnis at second. Alonso at first, and Gomes is behind the plate.
Marty Foster has the plate today. Mark Ripperger at first. Doug Eddings at second. And the crew chief, Joe West, down at third. So we are ready for action.
Another just beautiful day. What a homestand this has been, huh, Matt? I know it's hot, but still it's beautiful.
Corey Kluber's first pitch is a fastball outside, ball one. It's funny. I don't think it was this hot in July or even in August for this kind of a stretch. And here we are in September. It's broiling.
We will take it.
It may be fading fast.
Yes, it could. Possibilities there.
We're going north of the border, and it looks like the forecast, at least for Toronto, going to be in the upper 60s by the end of this weekend. There's a fastball, finds the outside corner, 2-1. Whit Merrifield having a fantastic season for Kansas City. But in this series, the Indians have pitched him very tough. 2-2. He is 0 for 9 in the first 2 games of the series. He had a 22-game streak in which he had reached base safely. That was snapped in the opener. He also had a 7-game hit streak. Ended in that first game. And he is out on strikes to start this afternoon's game. Today's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Corey Kluber in his career in the month of September has been dynamite. 19-6 with a .335 earned run average.
Yeah, not only a starter, he's a great closer when it comes to the year. And the milkman.
Yeah, Melky's been hot. No getting around it. And you know what's been really encouraging for me anyway? It's not a streaky hot. It's a very steady, consistent.
Yes. Well, he's played himself back into shape.
Ball carries pretty well. Greg Allen fighting the sun, makes the catch in deep center. 2 down.
Well, we know that when it's a bright sunny day, it can be tough for the outfielders early in the ball game. There are clouds up there to break it up, but you better have the glasses on. Use your glove to deflect some of that sunshine.
91 degrees, the official game time temperature here today. Hunter Dozier has had a good series. He is 4 for 8 with 2 doubles and a home run. There's a high fly ball to right field. Melky Cabrera moving over. And Corey Kluber breezes through the first on 8 pitches. The Indians are coming to bat.
Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher, and Keller 7-5 on the year. He's been out of the bullpen. He's made a lot of starts for him. The last time he started against the Indians, he went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs. He left leading the ball game 3-2, but had a no decision in that ball game, but has been pitched very well.
Terry Francona starting 9 brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Lindor, Brantley, and Diaz. Encarnacion, Alonso, Cabrera, Kipnis, Gomes, and Allen. Terry Francona making good on his word. Yesterday it was Michael Brantley who got the day off. Today it is Jose Ramirez. So Yandy Diaz getting back-to-back starts. And that's hey, that's a good thing, because so often in case you give somebody an opportunity and they run with it. Yesterday Yandy Diaz, 3 hits in his first career home run in the major leagues.
Yeah, hitting in the number 2 hole yesterday for Brantley, who missed the game. And today he's hitting in the number 3 hole for Ramirez, who he's playing third base for. So it is nice.
Lindor yesterday homered to lead off the game as a right-handed batter, and it was the 6th time this year he's led off a game with a home run. Swung on and missed. Good pitching by Brad Keller.
Let's check out the Kansas City defense for you this afternoon. Gordon is in left, Goodwin in center, Bonifacio over in right. It'll be Dozier at third, Escobar at short, Herrera is at second, O'Hearn is at first, Villarreal is behind the plate.
Well, it's good you point out those infielders, because if the numbers hold, they should be busy today. Brad Keller is a ground ball machine. Only 3 pitchers have a higher ground ball rate this year than Keller. Marcus Stroman, Clayton Richard, Lance McCullers, and then Keller at 55%.
Well, yeah, his fastball is not straight. It has late movement. We talked about it in Kansas City.
2 down.
And you watch, it's going to be tough for these guys to, you know, center on the baseball.
Great clip of the game from last night. Yandy Diaz, first home run. Stayed on the ball, drilled it to deep center field.
Said finally, what did it take him? 72 games to hit it?
70 games. Right on the button.
Hit a breaking ball and had a nice smile running around the bases.
And a foul back. 1-1 to count. To qualify in Major League Baseball in the ground ball rate, you have to have had at least 250 batted balls put in play. 144 pitchers have qualified this year, of which, as I mentioned, Keller is 4th overall. I thought it would be interesting just to see, where do Indians starting pitchers rank on that list? Carlos Carrasco is the highest on the list at 52nd. Wow. Number 52, 47% ground ball rate for Cooper.
Well, he strikes out a lot of guys too.
Well, you know, Kluber 69th, Bauer 73rd, Clevenger 111. But, you know, you think of the Indian staff, you know, mostly power pitchers, get you to hit the ball, pop it up, strike
yeah,
you
they
out.
can get strikeouts.
Drilled down the line, slicing foul. Also interesting, Justin Verlander is 143rd out of 144.
Yeah.
30% ground ball rate. And dead last, Marco Estrada. So coming up on this next road trip, the Indians have a chance to see number 1 and the dead last guy.
Gotcha.
Marcus Stroman and Marco Estrada.
Hard sinker slider for Stroman. But there it is. There's a nasty one. He didn't go. They checked. They say he did not go. It'll be a ball 4.
So Yandy Diaz is aboard with 2 down.
Let's take a look from the side. See what you think. Did he go? No. Oh, absolutely not. It looked worse than what it was, because I think that body was moving, but it was a ball. He checked it. Yeah, and pitching coaches love guys that, like a Brad Keller, because they hit the ball, it's on the ground, especially in a big ballpark where he pitches.
Oh, yeah.
He should not give up a lot of home runs. If he's got the control, keep it in play, and his fastball moves.
Yeah, and I think also guys, at least I'm thinking in my head historically, guys who are ground ball, sinker ball, they work fast. They don't mess around. Probably because they don't have a lot of pitches to choose from.
No need to mess around. Keep that defense going, on their toes.
2 quick strikes to Edwin. Encarnacion 0 for 6 in the first 2 games of the series. Edwin got a fastball, but it was just up out of the zone. I don't think that's anywhere near where they wanted that pitch. They were set up away. That came back on the plate. He was just fortunate that it was at the top of the zone, or maybe just out of the strike zone, and Edwin, trying to protect, went up and fouled it. Slider just misses low, 1-2. No score, bottom of the first here in Cleveland. 3-man shift left side of the infield for Kansas City. And that's high. He checked. He did not go. And it's 2-2. Dozier, Escobar, Herrera left to right on the left side of that infield, with O'Hearn holding Yandy Diaz at first. And he hits it to the right side. That'll send Yandy all the way to third. And Indians are at the corners with 2 down.
Glad you pointed that out right before that pitch, because it was wide open on the right side. And I'll tell you, Edwin, he can shoot the ball that way if he wants. And this ball's down the middle. They wanted it away. And look at he stayed inside the baseball. Took it that way on the ground.
So that tells me he was looking to do that. That wasn't just a late swing or anything of that nature. He saw the hole and said, I'm just going to shoot it over there.
They wanted that pitch a little bit more away, but this guy, they want him to throw the ball down the middle and let it move the way it does. So he got the ground ball, but it finds a hole. So once again, a hitter beats the shift that they had on for him.
Now an interesting defensive alignment for Yonder Alonso. It's not truly a shift because the shortstop Escobar stays on the left side of the infield, but look at Herrera way out there in shallow right field.
Yeah, a rover.
Oh, nice block by Villarreal. Now I don't know, Rick, if they keep Escobar over there because they think Alonso might try to dribble one that way, or if it has something to do with just, I mean, Edwin's not going to run, but sometimes you want that guy over there in case there's a play at second base on a ground ball. Maybe.
That could be, yes. That could be. We'll see what happens when he gets the 2 strikes, if they do change.
Glanced off the bat, foul.
Boy, that's when you don't, as a hitter, you don't want to give him. You see, he's just at about that 23%, but he's on right on the line, on the border. The umpire is playing where he should be. They should switch positions.
Pops one sky high, shallow left. And Gordon calls everybody off. The inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left. No score after 1. And a beautiful afternoon here at Progressive Field. Scoreless first inning. Corey Kluber goes to work here in the second. Ryan O'Hearn leading it off for Kansas City. O'Hearn was a terror in game 1, hitting 2 home runs and a double. 3 runs batted in. But yesterday, between Mike Clevenger and the bullpen, they held him in check. He was 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts.
Oh boy, that's a nice sequence. The first 2 pitches here, breaking ball down and away, and then a heater up and in. But he's swung the bat well in his 5 games against the Tribe.
Checked and it was foul. Just kind of trying to protect there. The 0-2. Down and in.
Yeah, that's the pitch you want him to chase after. But the young hitter was a nice take on his behalf.
Down and in. He went right back to it. Strikes him out.
Yes, he did.
Let's go down to our personal nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award, Andre Nutt.
I deserve that. I deserve it. You know, in Corey Kluber's last start against Tampa, he got in some trouble early in that first inning. Remember, first 2 guys got on?
First 5 pitches,
First 5 pitches got in some trouble, and Terry Francona thinks that hit a button for him. He says he loved how crisp he was with the 2-seamer. He said he was up to 92, 93, but the thing that really stood out, and we just saw it on that last pitch, is he finally had the good spin back on his off-speed pitch. And they said once he gets that good spin, he usually gets in a rhythm and rides it for a while. And we all know that, and we've all seen it. And Tito said that's what made him feel the best about that last start.
Yeah, I remember. Base hit on the first pitch of the game,
right.
Then 4 straight balls, and then he went to work, and it was total, you know, what a difference.
Well, you don't hear Tito, and we know this, you don't hear Mal Power brought up very often when it comes to Corey Kluber. But to Tito, when he's up to 92, 93, and he has a good movement,
right?
He says he's well, I'm going to say something we all know. He's one of the best when he can take it up another notch, and he did that versus Tampa.
Swung on and missed.
Well, that 92 with movement, the sharpness of it, you know, it's crisp, it's sharp, it's late break, and it's very unhittable.
Yeah, there aren't many pitchers that can spin it as well as Kluber can and manipulate the ball to both sides of the plate the way he does. And there is a good pitch to even the count at 2-2 on Bonifacio. Just when you get hitters looking one way, he'll zip it back the other side.
And the funny thing of it is, and we talk about it every start that he's out there, these hitters, they're crazy if they let him get to 2 strikes. Because when he is on his game and he has the late movement, he's a strikeout guy.
I'm curious. I don't know if there's any data that you could analyze that would give you the answer to this. But what is, in your mind, Arch, you've watched him enough to make a judgment here. What is the pitch that you think is most critical for him? Is it the breaking ball going down and away to a right-hand hitter, or the 2-seam fastball movement going the other direction? Swung on and missed. Is there one that's more important than the other if he's out there on a day and he doesn't have one or the other?
No, because he's going to have something. To the left-handers, he has changeup. You know, his let's call it a curveball. It's not a slider. It's actually a curveball. That pitch right there, when he has that, you're not going to hit it. What'd they hit off him last year? Way under 200 on that pitch right there. But he can locate his fastball. The key to Corey Kluber is location. He can go to both sides of the plate. He can, you know, 2-seam a fastball to the left-handers. He can throw change-ups down and away. He goes east and west. He can go north and south. He uses all 4 quadrants of the strike zone. And for me, it's command of every pitch that he has. Not many guys can control it like he can. That's why every start, I mean, he spoils you. He lulls you to sleep as a starter when you're a fan and you watch him. If he gives up 5 hits in a game in the first 5 innings, people are saying, what's wrong with him today? Well, come on, guys. This guy, he's not perfect. I mean, you can't hit your spots every single time, but he spoils you. And he hit a little patch this year where he didn't have his breaking ball. I think his knee was bothering him. But he's still out there, and he goes 7 innings. He's under 100 pitches or right at the 100 pitch mark every single start for the most part.
Goodwin fouls it off of his leg. 2-2.
I guess the best people you would have to talk to the opposing hitters that have to face him, you know, within the division, and they can probably give you a much better rundown than I can. I sit and watch him do it, but I'm not in the batter's box trying to hit him.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the cop-out answer, but I guess I'd almost go back to he's probably not unlike any other pitcher. When he can command his fastball, everything works off of that. So that still might be the most important pitch, regardless of how well he can spin that breaking ball, run the two-seamer, fool you with a changeup.
Yeah, I would agree. The fastball is the most important pitch for every pitcher. There it is. There's the comeback into the left-hander.
He strikes out the side here in the second. O'Hearn swinging on a ball down and in. Bonifacio, he goes fishing, and Goodwin is just plain frozen. Leading off for Cleveland, it's a hot one, 91 degrees at game time. And the pitch is low, ball 1 from Brad Keller. Melky 2 for 7 in the series with a run batted in. Takes a fastball low.
Show going on.
Sounded like it was awfully close. That's why I was looking out to see where the heck it was. 3-1 for Melky. Dialed in. And he pulls it foul, full count. Fouled out of play, cracked his bat, he'll go get a new one.
Sure sounded like it.
When these two teams met to open here in Cleveland, so for the home open, it was 50 degrees cooler.
Oh, is that
41 degrees for the home opener between the Indians and Kansas City, and 91 degrees here this afternoon.
Wow, what a difference.
And remember, we had that stretch of games where It was barely above freezing, 32.
We had
33.
the all-time low here in this ballpark.
3-2 to Cabrera.
Good pitch.
Strike 3 call.
Came back with a little backdoor breaking ball.
Well, we just had the air show wrap up here in Cleveland, and Indians team president Chris Antonetti, he jumped in. Look at him.
That looks awesome.
Going up with the Blue Angels.
We're maintaining 4 points full speed. Ready, roll. All right, Manfred, hit it.
Oh my goodness. I got to talk to Chris. That looks like a ball, and he did very well from what we understand, huh?
Yeah, and I heard at one point they were pulling, what was it, Murr? Was it 7? They were going 7 Gs. This is deep to left. It's over Gordon's head off the top of the wall and gone, I think. No, it stays in play. Gordon just lost track of it. Where did that get hung up on?
I don't know.
It hit somewhere up near the top of that wall. I don't know if it got stuck between the padding or what happened.
That could be.
Jason Kipnis has himself a 1-out double and just missed hitting a home run. Let's see what this did.
The doors open up. The elephant doors there. That's what it did. Right in the crack there.
Look at that.
Right in that crack, and it just deadened. See, Gordon was looking for it, and he couldn't see it, and it just comes straight down. But Kip hit that ball a long way, the opposite field.
Boy, it just got camouflaged in the white portion of that
sure
logo.
Did. It sure did.
So a 1-out double and a great block by Villarreal.
Boy, but getting back to Chris. Now, would you ever get in one of those?
I'd love to. I'd love to try it.
I think it'd be spectacular.
Yeah. But see, I love roller coasters. Those have never bothered me. I don't have a fear of that type of thing. But the power, I don't know about 7 Gs.
Well, so you might throw up a little bit, but it'd be all right. One of the two.
Yan Gomes. 1 ball, 1 strike. How about the way those pilots can just flip those things side to side, upside down, like it's no big deal.
Well, the amazing thing that we talked about over that weekend was how close they fly together and how fast they're going.
Yan Gomes line drive center field, base hit. Kipnis coming around third. He'll be held there. Goodwin's throw over everybody's head, and Gomes tries to go to second, but he's thrown out. Nice job by Villarreal.
Yeah. That, I'll tell you, that was a mistake. He wanted to go to second because he saw the throw was offline, but the catcher made a nice play. And Kip started to get off. He wasn't going to be able to score. It was just it was a bad throw by Goodwin. He went all the way. So I don't blame Gomes for trying to go, but give the catcher credit for coming to get the ball and throwing to second base, and he was able to get Gomes. And you can see he just gets him before he gets to the base. No, really not a good play by the center fielder, but the catcher picked him up.
So 2 down for Greg Allen, and he takes a strike. The Indians have hit almost 350 with runners in scoring position on the homestand. And Allen shoots one to left. This is going to get down, and the Indians are going to take the lead. 3 straight hits by the bottom third of the order. Kipnis, Gomes, and Greg Allen, and it's 1-0 Cleveland.
Yeah, the bottom part of that order, they start rolling. Things look good. You see, once again, he just picks his front foot up and puts it down. There's no stride to it. It's just a little pullback and get the hands through the hitting area, and it's a line drive. That's what you want to see him do, hit a line drive to left field, and he did, and it's a 2-out base hit. They had 7 hits. They were 7 for 15 last night, hitting with 2 outs. And we get another one today. 2 for 3 today.
Half of Greg Allen's runs batted in this year. Now, granted, he only has 16, but half of them have come with 2 outs.
I like that. It's the toughest hit to get. And so does that guy sitting right there. You give him a run and an early lead.
Allen has stolen 14 out of 17 on the year. The last time he was caught, though, was he was kind of put in a tough spot. Francisco Lindor at the plate was the runner at first base, and Greg Allen was at third on a failed first and third double steal attempt. Well, the Indians jump out early. Greg Allen delivers the first run of the afternoon, and the Indians are up 1-0.
Every moment with Indians home screen icons and features like the MLB TV Game of the Day, in-game highlights, news, live radio broadcasts, and much more. Download the MLB At Bat app today.
Corey Kluber, first pitch strike to Rosell Herrera. Indians with a 1-0 lead here in the third. Down in the dirt. Just missed outside. Good eye by Herrera.
Nice changeup right there, the left-hander. That's another pitch, a weapon that goes down and away for him.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Herrera came over from the Cincinnati Reds after they cut him loose in June. Big bouncer to Kipnis. Jason flips it to first, 1 down. Well, let's take a look at some of these pitches that Corey Kluber has such great movement on.
You're going to see a couple of breaking balls first. There it is, down, and you can see the bottom just sort of falls out of that pitch right there. Look at the spin. Again, you'll see it to the right-hander. So there's the left-hander, the right-hander. Now comes the two-seam fastball. He's going to start in at the hip and watch the movement, and that ball run back over the plate. That, I'm telling you, is probably got to be the toughest hit for a left-hander to hit right there, because you quit on the ball. You think it's going to hit you, and the next thing you know, it's on the inside part of the plate.
And again, just taking it from a left-handed hitter's perspective, because that's the way you hit in your career. You're trying to pick up so much in a very, very short period of time, and when a guy can move it both directions, he can throw that breaking ball down and in, or he can throw that pitch at your hip and read it. you're trying to process all that information, which way is it going, in a nanosecond.
And it comes out of the same arm slot. Every pitch that he throws comes out of that same slot, whether it's cutting away from you, coming into you, it doesn't matter. The changeup going away from you, he's got them moving in different directions. You don't understand how tough it is as a hitter. You know, you can see a couple of pitches that you have to look for, but when you got 3 or 4 different ones. And he's pretty close with all of them. What I'm saying, he has the control is there.
One of the few times he's behind so far here today. Escobar with a 3-1 pitch, and he pops it to center. Two down. Well, we're out of here after the game today. But just a short flight up the road to Toronto. Shane Bieber goes tomorrow for the Indians. Our coverage begins with Indians Live at 6:30. And the play-by-play action starting at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. You know, look, I think we've seen enough over the years to know that any pitch not executed as well as you can has the potential to get killed, get crushed.
Yeah,
well, no matter what it is. I mean, you throw a meatball fastball at 96 plus, it can still get killed. You hang a breaking ball, it can get throttled. It just seems like, for whatever reason, the one pitch that seems to get away from Corey more than any other is that cutter. It's like a love-hate relationship. You love it when it works, but boy, when you miss it, it does nothing, and the hitters just it speeds up their bat.
That's true with every pitcher that throws the cutter. When the cutter, you throw it properly like that, that's what happens, and we can talk about that later.
He is working quickly today. 9 up, 9 down. First time through the order. Kluber has struck out 5. Later in the game for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. Only 2 day games in baseball this afternoon. The one you're watching right here, and down south in Hotlanta, the Braves hosting the Red Sox. Everything else will be later tonight.
You know, I was checking the schedule for tomorrow. We're the only American League game.
Is that
on the
right?
docket? Yes. I think there's only 3 National League games.
A light Thursday, huh?
Yes, it will be.
Michael Brantley leading off here in the bottom of the 3rd. Out of play to the left side. pulls it into the KC dugout. Nothing in 2.
Kansas City with Michael up there, 3 on the right side. You don't see this a whole lot. And then the third baseman Dozier is playing shortstop. This is that last pitch is what makes Michael such a good, solid hitter. He's down to the count 0-2, and he was able to take that breaking ball down and in.
And he got a piece of that pitch to stay alive at 95 miles an hour.
This got a piece of him, I think.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, off the back. I don't know if it was the shin where it bounced and came up and bit him. But he's going to walk it off. He's got the protection on the front foot.
That is so strange to see a ball fouled off your bat hit you in the back leg. But we see it more and more.
Yes, we do.
Swing and a miss, strikes him out, 1 down. Well, here's a man who never hits the ball off his back foot, Al Pulowski.
No, and if I did, I'd make sure to have a leg guard there. Matt and Rick, let's go down to Atlanta. Hotlanta, as you called it. Ronald Acuna Jr. A leadoff home run for the 8th time this year. That is a new Atlanta Braves single season record. And oh, by the way, this is just the 45th time that he has batted leadoff this year. How about that?
That's incredible.
Man.
The ratio there, my goodness.
I read a good story about Alex Anthopoulos and the Braves just recently, and while he didn't draft a lot of those guys,
right,
they came prior to his arrival. Yandy Diaz cracks the bat and grounds out here 2 down. They say that, you know, Anthopoulos has done a very good job of just, you know, smoothing the waters. You know, they've come off a pretty turbulent time where they were fined for international scouting incidents and things of that nature, but basically the crux of the story is he's done a good job of just kind of giving the organization a little stability. And the key is, they said, nobody saw these young players making the quantum leaps that they've made this year.
They're ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a year ahead of where they thought they were going to be. You know, they expected good things, but how many young players, and they have a couple of them, more than 2. They probably have 3 because they've got a young pitcher that are having great years. You know, you expect to see one of them, you know, that has talent, not 3 of them, you know, or they're young, all those young guys blooming at one time. That's the difference down there in Atlanta.
Yeah, Ozzie Albies, Acuna, and there's another young player that's
their
also
pitcher. They got a left-handed pitcher that's unbelievable. Yes, I think it's Newcomb, who has been unbelievable. And you match him up with Freeman, Markakis, and some veterans, Enciarte, and you know, it takes off. It takes an arm of its own.
Well,
just takes off.
And you look at Atlanta, they came into today trying to avoid the sweep against Boston, but still a 3-game lead in the National League East. Encarnacion chases one up high, 2-2. So it's been a heck of a year for the Braves. And as you said, ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we were talking to one of their scouts down there, and you know, they're excited about it, but you know, you can't get too excited because you never know. Will they have a setback next year? But they're riding it right now. Those kids are really something special. We're going to end up playing them next year, you know, in the National League East. So we'll have an opportunity to see those young kids.
Popped up right side, backpedaling O'Hearn, called off, and it drops. Herrera called him off, or at least that's to what it looked like, but then Herrera couldn't make the play. And so Edwin is safe at first with 2 down.
Just another line drive for Edwin. Yeah, he called him off, and I don't know if he had sun issues or not, but you can see O'Hearn is right there, and then he hears him, so he gets out of the way. And then I don't know if he lost it and then had to pick it back up. But it'll go as a base hit. He didn't touch it. You're going to get it. You better take charge of it, young man. He didn't do it, so it's a 2-out single.
I almost wonder if Herrera he either deked himself or he thought he heard maybe O'Hearn call for it, and then he backed off.
O'Hearn took off, though. I mean, that's the one thing.
Just weird. He was calling for it and then gave up slightly and then realized, uh-oh.
I wonder if he had a tough time picking it back up. He might have taken his eye off of it with the sunglasses on and then looked back up and couldn't pick up the baseball.
Yonder Alonso fly to left, his only time up.
See, now the clouds are covered.
Yeah. And there's a line drive, but it's right at Herrera.
Okay. He redeemed himself.
No harm, no foul. 3 complete, 1-0 Cleveland.
The app lets you conveniently purchase, access, and forward your Indians tickets directly to your mobile device, then have it scanned for entrance to the ballpark. No need to print tickets. It's a beautiful thing.
One nothing, Cleveland on top. And we move to the 4th inning where Whit Merrifield leads it off for Kansas City. Struck out his only time up in the 1st. And Corey Kluber attacks with a fastball for strike 1.
You're right. They have pitched this guy really tough in this series. Ramirez made a great play on him to get him out one time, but this kid is a really good hitter, and he's probably Kansas City's best ball player without a doubt. 30 stolen bases, 36 doubles, hitting over 300, 11 homers, 51 ribbies in that leadoff spot.
Liner towards second. Jason Kipnis scoops it on the short hop and flips it to first, 1 away. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. And Jason Hayward on the DL with a right hamstring injury for the Chicago Cubs. And they lead Milwaukee by 3 in the NL Central.
Yeah, the Brewers were able to get him last night, beat him. Smoked him last night.
Pitch is up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alex Gordon flied to deep center in the 1st. His only hit in the series was a home run yesterday. But at that point, the Indians had already run up a 7-0 lead. Gordon cuts and misses, and it's 2-2. just missed inside, and that one almost nicked him. Curious to see if that pitch sets up the 3-2. Does he go to that?
No, I think he'll go breaking
door.
ball. I don't think he'll see the fastball in. But
He did go to it, and Gordon was waiting for it, it looked like. Shoots it down the left field line into the corner. And Gordon pulls into second base with the first hit off Kluber today. An opposite field 1-out double.
Well, let's check out that pitch, Matty. See what happens. You see, that pitch was a two-seamer, but it didn't start in. It was moving away, but he stayed on it. That's not a bad pitch right there, 3-2. That two-seamer running away from you. Gordon stayed on it. His 18th double, so a 1-out double. It's Kansas City, their first hit today.
And the tying run into scoring position for Hunter Dozier. Dozier fly to right his only time up. Fouled back out of play. Dozier 4 out of 9 in the series. And a guy that has shown the ability to hit line drives gap to gap. He's not just a guy that sits and waits and shoots it the other way. He's not a guy that's a dead pull hitter. But
I really like the way this guy swings the bat, and I like O'Hearn. Now it's a matter of what position are they going to play. I think they're looking at him, and he's played first base. He's played third base. I don't know if he's, if he's an everyday third baseman.
Yeah.
Because when he signed, he was a shortstop. He's too big for that role. So we'll see where they're going to place him defensively. But offensively, I think he can handle himself in that batter's box very well. He's a big, strong kid.
Just missed up high. Dozier is listed at 6'4", 220. .27 years old, just turned 27, in fact, a couple of weeks ago.
Well, he's been on a roll. He was 2 for 4 last night, a couple of doubles. He's got a hitting streak of 7 right now. Hit .464. He's 13 for 28, a couple of homers, 5 doubles, 2 triples in that streak.
5 years ago, the Royals made him the 8th overall pick in the draft. That's just off the plate. 2-2. Now the 2-2, and there is a swing and a miss.
He's loaded down and put a little more break to it and let him go ahead and let him swing at that ball away for his 6th strikeout. You check it out. This is the curveball. It's going to start on the outside part. It just breaks away from the barrel of that bat, and that takes a little bit more off of that cutter that he can throw out there, and you get the swing and miss.
Ryan O'Hearn takes a pitch outside, ball one. O'Hearn, like Dozier, a Texas native, but unlike Dozier, not a high draft pick. He was an 8th round choice 4 years ago, but he just turned 25.
Curious to see if these guys keep their numbers that they're wearing this year. You know, 66 he has on his back.
Hit hard.
Smoked.
Deep center. Greg Allen won't get it, I don't think. No, diving effort. Nice attempt, but scoring the tying run is Gordon. And on his way to third is O'Hearn, and he will go in sliding with an RBI triple. It's his first triple, and it ties the game at 1 with 2 out here in the 4th inning.
And the two youngsters, man, come up with big hits. This is they wanted it up and in. It leaked a little bit out over the plate, and you can see he can cover that high pitch. Nice effort right there by Allen. He came awfully close. So a big 2-out base hit for O'Hearn. It'll tie the ball game up at 1. He gets his 23rd RBI and his first triple. We saw him hit the home run, his first one the other day, with a pitch down. So he can cover both down and up in the strike zone for a left-handed hitter. Very good.
Now Jorge Bonifacio looks at a ball in the dirt. Second pitch of the inning now for Kluber. And that's a bit high. Again, it's just a bit up off the plate, maybe a tad. 3-0.
Well, Bonifacio is good numbers against Kluber. I think he was 4 for 5 coming into today's game, and Corey was able to strike him out his first at bat. But he's going to be careful here. That 2 outs. Go ahead run out at third base.
Bonifacio swinging 3-0 at a borderline pitch.
Well, see, that was a check swing. I mean, if you're going to get after the 3-0 pitch, go ahead and swing it. You don't want to take it and be indecisive, because you've got to zone in and keyhole that pitch right there on a 3-0 count.
Three-1. He goes fishing. Full count. He's seen 5 pitches in the at-bat, and not a one of them has been a strike. And now the count is full.
You don't have to throw strikes sometimes.
I guess you're right. 7 strikeouts for Kluber, but a couple of big extra base hits for Kansas City. Tie the game at 1. Melky Cabrera is going to lead it off, and we're going to go down to Andre.
Thank you. You know, Matt, you said something in Melky's first at bat that rung home for me, because in talking to him over the last few days, I said, you know, it's been pretty nice watching you get hot. And he says, well, I don't feel hot. I finally feel normal. He said, you know, there was a couple weeks ago, he said, I felt hot. And he goes, but now I feel like I'm in a rhythm, the rhythm that I've been in most of my career. And he said the one place that's helped him play here, and I couldn't believe this, was San Francisco. He says the one place that helped him get ready for this. He says because this ballpark plays a little different than most ballparks he's played in, with the wind, playing in right field. And he said, well, after playing in San Francisco, you can play anywhere.
Yeah. That's interesting, though. I guess maybe it's because we've spent so much time in this ballpark. I guess I hadn't thought of it as being a ballpark where the elements can be tricky if you're not familiar with it. But I can kind of see his point where, you know, on certain days, Arch, depending on if that wind's blowing in or blowing out, it can be hard on an outfielder.
Especially in right field where he's playing. He's playing out in right field. So
there's a ball launched to right field. And Bonifacio can't cut it off. Melky's headed for two. Here's the throw. It's cut off. And the Milkman is in sliding with a leadoff double. And that is his 13th on the year.
Well, the Milkman looks very comfortable up at home plate right now. And he said he's normal. He is. He's a very good hitter. He was a guy that as a free agent last year, he hit 280 plus. He had about 80 RBIs, 15 dingers, and he's still a good offensive force. So he gets his first hit, starts it off with a double. See if the Indians can come back and retake the lead for Kluber and have an answer for that one on the board in the fourth.
Jason Kipnis taking a pitch inside for ball one.
Well, he took that outside pitch the last time off the wall for a double, so you figure if he's looking away, they're going to have to try and pitch him inside, but and they do, and he was able to take it.
Kipnis with a liner right into the mitts of O'Hearn, and Kipnis destroys his bat before he heads back to home plate.
Well, he's just upset because he hit the ball on the nose and it was right into the tracks of O'Hearn at first base, so he's upset that he didn't get a base hit in that situation, trying to get his job done. And rightfully so. You can see that he hit it right on the nose. He went to left field the first time, and that is just flat out frustration.
Bounced in there. Watching Kip destroy that bat reminded me of something I saw yesterday in the clubhouse. Yonder Alonso got some new bats. Boy, the way they ship the bats now, they're carefully wrapped in plastic. They're sealed. I mean, it's like opening up a Christmas present. The 1-0.
Yeah, and then once they open it, they get the pine tar. They start putting all.
Well, the first is the tape. You
put
the tape on it. And Yonder has that tape that absorbs some of the shock if you hit one off the end. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up, Matt. I'll wait till after this pitch. I got a good story off of it.
All right, 2-0 on the way. Gomes fouls it back.
So, as you saw Yonder getting those bats, I kind of said to him, you know, seems like this is a tired time of the season. Seems like you guys are, you know, kind of struggling through it. And he says, no, I'm not tired. I'm not tired at all. He goes, hey, that's what I got to tell myself. So we were looking at the different bats that were being brought to him. And he said he usually uses, I want to say 32.5 ounce bat. Well, they kept bringing him 32 or 33 ounces or 32.5. And he finally said, he goes, I got to have 32 ounces. It's August. It's September, August. I'm tired. And they looked at me and he goes, don't tell anybody I said that.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
So he's using lighter bats now that they've got to this point of the season.
Isn't that crazy, though? You're talking a half ounce.
It's
a half ounce could make that much of a difference.
Sure can. Just the way you feel, man. Sometimes, you know, you get a little too much body movement. Sometimes you feel great. Yeah, it all depends on how you feel, man. You have ups, you have downs.
and he could go through. He has a bat rack almost set up like a pull. If you ever have a bunch of pull sticks set up,
right,
and he can go to each one and he can look at it and tell you which one's 32.5, which one's 32.
He did.
Gomes strikes out. That's the 4th K for Keller. That ball was bearing up and in on Gomes. Almost one of those deals where he started after it and kept swinging out of self-defense.
Yeah, this is one where you get yourself out here because that pitch, yeah, he did go, couldn't check his swing. He's been so good with patience this year for himself, but that time patience wore thin.
What do you suppose old Ken Williams did when he swung that 48-ounce back?
Oh,
in August, he would go down to 47.5.
No, turn it the other way and held the real thick end and tried to hit with the handle.
There's a ground ball by Greg Allen. O'Hearn will take it himself. Leadoff double, dies at second for Cleveland. 4 complete, tied at 1. Sorrento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Now back here at Progressive Field, Ned Yost trying to cut off a brouhaha between one of his coaches, we believe, and the home plate umpire, Marty Foster. This time of year, everybody gets a little sensitive. Brian Goodwin will lead off for Kansas City.
Was somebody ejected? I
don't think so, but we'll wait and hear. I kind of caught it late. I saw Ned coming out of the dugout, so I don't know if anybody was given the heave-ho. A lot of times you get a player like Salvador Perez, who we just saw. Normally he's an everyday guy. He's in there all the time. And now because of a thumb injury, he's on the bench. Well, sometimes those guys don't know what to do with themselves. And they get caught up in the game, and maybe they start hollering at the umpire, just like they hear people do all the time. And the umpire maybe had enough.
Well, he would know the umpires better than anybody back there catching and talking to him all the time.
Whatever it was, home plate umpire Marty Foster was headed to the dugout, and it looked like it was not going to end well for whoever was in the Kansas City dugout that drew his ire. But Ned Yost cut him off and said, hey, let's talk this out, you and me. 2-strike pitch at the feet of Goodwin. Now the 1-2 offering. And Goodwin chases. That's 8 strikeouts now for Corey Kluber. mentioned this in the game yesterday. Ken Williams, he swung a 48-ounce bat. Now, granted, he played back in the 1920s, 1922, first 30-30 player in Major League history. Now, what's interesting about that year in 1922 is 37 homers and the 39 steals, obviously, but 155 runs batted. He led the league in home runs and runs batted in. And Ken Williams is one of those sort of largely forgotten players in baseball history. He did have a solid career, but in 1922, this is one of those, you almost had to live through it to understand the context of the times, but you're only a couple years removed from the Black Sox scandal. Kennesaw Mountain Landis was in charge of baseball, and while players were barnstorming in the offseason to make money,
right,
there was a rule that he had put in place forbidding players who had taken part in the World Series from being part of any barnstorming activities, because he wanted to make sure that his whole thing was we have to restore the public's faith in the game of baseball, that there's nothing going on that's shady. So if you're in the World Series, no barnstorming. Babe Ruth basically said, the heck with you, I'm going to go barnstorm. I'm going to make some extra money. And so Landis said either stop or else, and Babe Ruth says, he thumbed his nose at him. So Landis suspended Babe Ruth for the first 6 weeks of the 1922 season, and he fined him his World Series share.
Wow.
But because Babe Ruth missed the first 6 weeks of the 1922 season,
win the HR title,
Ken Williams won the home run and RBI title.
Didn't know that.
Babe finished with 35 homers, 96 runs batted in. So 2 homers shy of Williams.
And missed 6 weeks.
And missed 6 weeks. Isn't that something?
So that would have been another
10 at least.
Easy.
At least,
Easy.
right? Two down. Alcides Escobar, the batter, and a foul right back. A hot afternoon here in Cleveland, where pitching has dominated on both sides. Kluber's only given up 2 hits. They both came in the 4th, led to Kansas City's only run. Broken bat, foul ball. No harm. The Indians' only run, a product of 3 consecutive hits in the 2nd inning. Greg Allen driving home Jason Kipnis with the Tribe's only run.
I'd love to send out a very special birthday wish today. Dorothy Jewell of Warren, turning 101 today. Dorothy, a very special happy birthday to you.
The 1-2 pitch. Slug to left, and Brantley makes the catch. The Royals go 1-2-3. Halfway through, tied at 1. Frank. How about this? This floored me. I saw this earlier. Frankie's hit 6 home runs each against KC, Minnesota, and Detroit. Wow. And Hosey has 5 against Cincinnati, Minnesota, and the White Sox.
Well, the strange thing is we only played the Reds 6 times, and he has 5 homers against them. I can see the against in your division.
Ground ball, backhanded by Herrera. Goes out Lindor, 1 down. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. This is how the scoring started in the 2nd inning. Greg Allen slapping one to left. Jason Kipnis comes home. 1-0. It stayed that way until the 4th when Ryan O'Hearn, just beyond the reach of a diving Greg Allen, and went for an RBI triple. That's the only scoring here today. The Indians have 6 hits. Kansas City just 2. Ball hit him square in the glove and bounced and rolled about 10 feet out in front of the plate.
Well, that kid that's catching behind the plate today, he was called up from A-ball, and he's the first player for Kansas City to be called up from A-ball since 2004. Donnie Murphy.
Wow.
So this kid, he got his first hit on Sunday.
Oh, Michael Brantley beats the shift just like Ed Encarnacion did back in the 1st inning.
Again, we say there's a few teams won't shift Michael, but you know what? There it is. He stayed on that one. You can see he was forcing it to go that way. Hitters can do that if they want to. They can beat that shift that's out there. I don't care if that pitch is in or it's away. They're so good, and they have bat control. And Michael, there you go. You get yourself a base hit, and it was an easy ground ball.
Yandy Diaz walked in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd. Just did catch the outside part of the plate. 3-1.
All right, well, he's got to come back and throw a couple more now. So if you're Yandy, cut that plate in half and look one way or the other. And I'm sure he's going to be looking away to shoot that ball between 1st and 2nd.
Big chopper to short, and it gets by Escobar. That took a wicked hop on him. Michael Brantley will go to 3rd. Indians at the corners with 1 out. That's a do-or-die play. It's either going to be a double play and the inning's over, or you get 1st and 3rd.
I think he tried to come up and make that play and get it before it hopped so he could get the double play, and then the ball got by him. You see, he thought he was going to get it. He really played it a tough hop. So that'll be a base hit. You see, he came up with it thinking that ball's going to be a little harder, but with that topspin, really, he broke in and wanted to play it. I think he thought he could have got there before it hopped twice. But it does not. So that's 1st and 3rd now. Good chance for the Indians to get on the board. And Edwin.
He's already 2 for 2 today, and he's got a little rabbit's foot in his back pocket because his last time up, he popped one up and it fell between a couple of defenders. He doesn't like that first call by the home plate umpire. The 0-1 pitch is hit down the line, slicing, foul, and out of play. So Encarnacion in the hole, 0-2.
They gave that an error. They changed it.
All right.
E6.
Edwin slowly chops one towards third. They'll go to second to get the force there, and that's it. The Indians take the lead.
I don't
Scoring
know.
is Brantley.
Did Herrera not have a feel for that ball? I still think he had time to maybe throw and have a chance at getting Edwin.
I agree with you, and I'm not sure if it was a grip.
Let's take a look at it.
Lack of confidence.
Here comes Dozier, gets the ball to him. There's time. Man, you got to throw the ball. You got to try. But he doesn't. The Indians will take the lead. Brantley will score.
Yonder Alonso swings and misses at a high pitch. Pops him up. Should end the inning. We'll see. Escobar does indeed make the catch. But the Indians take the lead on an unearned run here in the fifth.
When you purchase your 2019 season tickets, you'll receive access to potential 2018 postseason games right here at Progressive Field. Place your deposit today and secure your place at Indians.com.
Well, you know, it's a big day here at Progressive Field when our coordinating producer, Killer Kilkenny, stops by to check in on us. Here is Mabry's Villarreal, who Arch told you he started out an A-ball this year. That's an incredible leap.
It really is when you think about it. And I'll tell you, I've watched him today behind the plate, and he's blocked balls nicely. He's done really a nice job, and this kid was an A-ball.
How do you just leap 2 levels and go right to the big leagues?
It's hard to do. But, you know, when you're at that position he's at and you have the big guy in the dugout, Salvador Perez, that, you know, he's going to be the catcher as long as he's around. You got to get your time while you can.
Puts one in play here off Kluber. Grounds out. 1 down. T-Mobile, built for baseball. Corey Kluber has struck out 8 through 5 in the third.
Well, once again, that breaking ball, the stuff that Corey's throwing up there today, very crisp, very sharp. Command intact. He's only allowed 2 hits. He hasn't walked anybody. 8 strikeouts. Typical Corey Kluber day. This is what fans look for, and this is how he spoils you, the way he's throwing the baseball right now. And it should surprise none, because he's, you know, in September we showed you his record in his career going down the stretch, and that's how you win Cy Youngs, man. You get tougher as the season goes on, and he always does.
He's had 15 swings and misses out of those 80 pitches. $16 outs, and 5 of the 16 have been recorded on 3 pitches or less. Kluber's 0-2. Just a ball width or 2 off the plate.
And that's one where occasionally he'll try to the right-handers to bring it back on the outside part of the plate for a little comebacker, but missed.
Weekly bounced to second. Boy, they have really handcuffed Merrifield in this series.
They sure have. They've pitched him well.
He is 0 for 12.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
Boy, this is one of those days where it's just so warm for the folks who've come and they're sitting in the seats, and especially anybody that's sitting in the sun. You look out in the bleachers.
Yes.
Now, I know they sold more tickets to bleacher seats than there are people sitting in the bleachers right now.
Look at the left field rails.
But everybody's just gone to wherever they can find some shade today. The left side is packed where it's shaded. I mean, those poor folks that are sticking it out in the bleachers, they are just.
We should have sent Tommy out to the home run porch and had him rent out some shade today for a lot of those people. You would have made some money, Bo.
Take a couple umbrellas with
Sure, have it all set up out there.
it. 2-0 is fouled back. It was 91 at game time. Scoreboard showing 93. It's every bit of that for sure. Two-one offering. Foul back by Gordon. Gordon doubled in the fourth, and it was a really good piece of hitting. He got a two-seam fastball. He stayed on it. He shot it the other way down the left field line. It went into the corner. He doubled. And then with 2 outs, Ryan O'Hearn smacked a triple up the left center field alley, and that led to Kansas City's only run. Atlanta leading Boston 7-1. They're in the 8th. Gordon goes down hacking. Corey Kluber has struck out 9 in 6 innings of work here this afternoon. Melky Cabrera will lead it off. He led off the fourth with a double, but the Indians were unable to move him from there.
I have to tell you, Keller's been throwing the ball very well today. He's given up 7 hits, but boy, he's been tough to square up. There's a 2-out base hit in the second inning that got him their first run. A little ground ball. Actually, it was a gift run in the 5th.
Five ground ball outs so far for Keller.
Yeah, and we expected more than that.
Yeah. There's a bouncer up the middle, cut off by Herrera. He had trouble getting it out of his glove, but he's able to retire Cabrera, 1 down.
Well, get KeyBank Kids tickets starting at just $15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets are located in the family deck right here at Progressive Field and are only available at Indians.com/kids-ticket.
Jason Kipnis will bat with 1 out here in the 6th. Doubled and scored the first run back in the 2nd.
Keller has 11 outs on 3 pitches or less today, which is why his pitch count is at 82.
Yeah, and that's it. That's important because he has not had a 1-2-3 inning.
That's true.
Twice he's faced 4, but yeah, he's had to work hard at times.
Told you his last start against the Indians, he had a no decision, although they ended up Kansas City winning the game. He left leading 3-2.
Jason Kipnis muscles one into center.
There you go. There you go. He makes up for the last ball he hit right on the nose. It was caught by O'Hearn at first base. So Kip now 2 for 3. Look at his first ball went to left field off the wall. He pulled his second time up and it was a line drive. This time it got up and down on the trademark a little. Didn't get it all that well, but it was a good thing. He got a base hit to center field. So he's used every direction here this afternoon.
Yan Gomes singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. 1 on 1 out here in the 6th. And a line drive caught by Herrera. No time to even think about going back to second. That almost picked off Keller, and then Herrera made a nice play to keep it from going into center field.
The second time that happened today, a line drive up the middle. Pitcher almost got it, and the second baseman ends up fielding it right over his glove. And he retires Gomes on a hard hit liner.
Up comes Greg Allen. There goes Kip. Throw down by Villarreal, goes into center field. And Kipnis has a stolen base, his 7th. I'll tell you one thing, Villarreal got rid of it lightning quick, but it short hopped down at the second base.
Kip had a good jump. He was off. He guessed right, and you're right. He did get rid of it quickly, but it's a tough play for Escobar. If he stands up and makes a good throw, he may get him, but Kipnis steals a base, worth the risk right there with 2 outs. Now a base hit, he could score.
Fastball swings through it. 0-2. Indians have Done a lot of damage with 2 outs on the homestand, but not this inning. Allen goes down swinging. 2-1 Cleveland. Corey Kluber back to work. He has fanned 9 Kansas City Royals already today. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio.
Back to the top of the 7th. 2-1 Indians. Brandon Geyer will go into the ball game defensively out in right field for Milky Cabrera.
Corey Kluber has the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Kansas City. Hunter Dozier to lead it off. And a fastball just a bit high. Once again, too tall. Hits it straight up on the infield. Yonder Alonso comes screaming down the line because Gomes never saw it. And that is out number 1. Now get that old bike out, break in your new one. Either way, the Neo Cycle event is this Saturday at Edgewater Park. Don't miss the Glowtastic Night Ride presented by Cover My Meds. It's going to light up the Cleveland Memorial Shoreway. Register at neocycle.org. One of the best things they've done in the Cleveland metro area is the bike trails that they have all along the lakefront now, down by Edgewater Park.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. The 0-1. And I'll tell you one thing, there's a couple of hills that make you think twice about whether or not this was a good idea. But you don't want to be that guy that has to get off and push his bike up the hill. So you
got to pump.
You gear it all the way down as low as it'll go and just hope you can get to the top of the hill.
Are you a bike rider?
I have a bike and I ride it.
Okay.
I'm not going to classify myself.
You're not like Sandy and
not
cyclist.
Even close. I like to coast. If there's coasting involved, I love riding a bike.
So we take you to the top of the mountain and let you go downhill.
That's my favorite part. And there's a spot at Edgewater where you get going downhill, and I mean you're flying pretty good clip there. But it's the going back part that you keep putting it off as long as you can. You know it's there. You know, in order to get back to the car, you've got to ride back up that hill at some point. Ryan O'Hearn tripled home, the only run for Kansas City in the 4th.
Good pitch, not called.
Really good pitch. I think Kluber is a little upset he didn't get this one.
Look at it away. That's a pretty good pitch right there. That's hard not to call that pitch a strike when he's been around the plate all day long. For any pitcher.
And he ends up
very first walk of the day.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. The way O'Hearn has swung the bat and the way he has done damage against the Indians already this year.
Well, that's why Kluber was careful.
Don't
that
give in to
pitch,
him.
he didn't get that pitch called. He wasn't going to give him something he could hit. So he said, if I walk him, fine, I'll deal with the next two guys. He knows. And then, you know, it's Carl Willis coming out that'll slow things down and get the bullpen up. Kluber knows this is his last inning, and he's not going to let that one guy who got the only RBI of the day come back and get him again. And that was a pretty good pitch that could have been strike 3 but wasn't called. So he missed the next two. .65% strikes for Kluber in the on the afternoon out of 100 pitches.
Well, Oliver Perez up in the bullpen. Could be on to face Goodwin, who's in the on-deck circle.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be on for maybe either Herrera, the second baseman. He's not a switch hitter, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Kluber struck out these two guys twice apiece.
And Bonifacio.
Both Bonifacio and Goodwin.
He's still swinging. He was swinging at everything his last time up.
This is after he had a 3-0 count.
Yeah.
He didn't have a very good swing on the.
Just a bit high. Blown away. Two balls and a strike. The Indians, the magic number coming into today's down to 10. Twins are in action later tonight in Houston. And the 2-1 is swung out and missed to even the count.
I was going to say, you'd love to get that ground ball double play, but Bonifacio, he's swinging and missing at everything. That's 6 times today. He's swung through pitches against Kluber, and he'll probably stay right with that breaking ball and get him to chase again.
The 2-2. He did indeed. 10 strikeouts for Corey Kluber, and 2 down here in the 7th, and that's going to bring the day to an end for number 28.
Well, here you go, a breaking ball away. He gets him to swing, and he chases it out of the zone. So second strikeout, or third strikeout against Bonifacio. Kluber's day will be over. You were right. The left-hander is coming on to face Goodwin.
What an ovation for Kluber from this sun-baked crowd here in downtown Cleveland. to face Brian Goodwin. With a runner at first and 2 down here in the 7th, Cleveland Clinic called to the bullpen for Perez, appearance number 42. He's done an outstanding job. Now, the other night when he came on, actually it was last night,
right?
Yeah, he hit Brian Goodwin after he had retired Ryan O'Hearn on a ground ball.
Yeah, and then he was taken out. Yes, got him on a fastball up and in.
And a fastball misses inside, 1-0. Came back with another heater right there at the bottom of the strike zone to even it up. Perez and Goodwin, both members of the Washington Nationals the previous couple of years. Two and one.
Didn't chase the breaking ball.
Throws back, and O'Hearn diving back into the bag.
Not that O'Hearn is a base stealing threat. I think it was the element of surprise because he went back diving. He hasn't even attempted to steal one this year, but
I think it did surprise him.
It did.
Well, that's a good pitch. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Try to get him to chase. No can do. Full count. Cody Allen getting loose in the Cleveland bullpen, as is John Edwards. O'Hearn, the tying run, will be off at first. Goodwin goes chasing. And he strikes out to end the inning. Threw him the same pitch that he took. Only this time, he went chasing. Bottom of the 7th. See if Frankie and the Indians can get the offense rolling for some insurance here in the 7th inning. Lindor 0 for 3 today.
Well, there's only been one hit in the top 3 hitters, and that was Brantley in his last at bat in the 5th inning, and he scored the go-ahead run.
In the air, left center, and Goodwin runs it down. Get out your phone and check out Sports Time Ohio on Twitter. You can relive and share great moments, get game updates, and hear from players before and after games, all when you follow Sports Time Ohio on Twitter. Michael Brantley singled and scored the last run of this game in the 5th. Pulls that foul. Does it again. And a ground ball with the shift on. Escobar had to reach for it. And he makes the play. 2 down. Well, in the 5th inning, Brantley had singled with 1 out. And then Yanni Diaz sends a ground ball. Looks like it's going to be an inning-ending double play, but Escobar misplays it. It's ruled an error. Brantley goes to 3rd. And then Edwin chops one to 3rd. Again, it looks like it's an inning-ending double play, but Herrera, whether he couldn't get a grip on the ball, we don't know. He just didn't pull the trigger.
Well, you got to throw the ball. I mean, no matter what,
somehow,
you have to try and get rid of it somehow, some way. And I mean, it was Dozier that got the ball to Herrera.
Oh, there's a.
It's going to be a base hit. Yes, it is. Base hit. That's like a perfect bunt. He just rolled out there. Nothing you could do defensively. It stayed on the grass. You'll get yourself a base hit. So a 2-out single for Diaz. Look at hit right down out in front of home plate. Let it go because you're not going to get him.
Going to get a pinch runner. Rajay Davis will run for Yandy. On the year, Rajay has stolen 16 out of 21. Edwin taking, it's a called strike.
And I got to tell you, Raj is put in here to maybe steal a base. This guy's quick to the plate. I know Kip got a stolen base today, but this guy is very quick. He's under 1-1, delivering it to the dish.
Time was called.
Yeah, I could hear it from up here. Verbally, it was called, and the umpire gave it to him, even though the hands didn't go up. But you hold the ball, you do whatever you can. That's a big run out there on the bases, especially if you're Kansas City. You can't let them go. You've got 2 outs.
Raj not going.
And
Edwin pops one. I lost it. It's way up in the sky. And it's caught by the right fielder Bonifacio. So the inning is over. And we'll go to the 8th. 2-1 Cleveland.
2-1 lead as Cody Allen's coming on now. Welcome back along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski, and boy, the offense just enough today. Corey Kluber outstanding.
He was. Oliver Perez too. Now you hand it to Cody Allen. You hope he can put back-to-back good outings together. Another good spot for him to continue to build that confidence.
I think we're going to go a little bit deeper on Kluber coming up postgame.
Would expect some Fox Vision, no doubt.
Indians Live is brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It is indeed right after this one. Let's head back upstairs for the call of the 8th. Here are Matt and Rick.
Well, boys, most importantly, he's pitching the Indians into a position to win the game, but secondarily, he's pitching himself again into position to be that Cy Young guy at the end of the season.
He certainly is.
Punching out 10 in 6 2/3 innings here this afternoon. Well, as the guys just said, it's up to Cody Allen now. He's got the bottom third of the order here in the 8th inning. Eric Gonzalez takes over for Yandy Diaz at third base. Rosell Herrera 0 for 2. And a strike call. Boy, how about Boston? They've come all the way back to tie Atlanta 7-7. They've been batting for about a half an hour.
I just looked out there and saw that score, and I said, oh, my goodness, it was 7-1 the last time you reported it.
Bouncing ball foul. Well, let's see if it was a total meltdown. Yep, it looks like it was. All 6 runs have scored in the 8th.
Well, that's a Red Sox team that they can put up big runs, big numbers in an inning. They've done it all year.
Looks like it's just been a hit parade, too. I don't see any homers. Swihart, 2-run double. Benintendi, RBI single. Steve Pearce, sac fly. Kinsler knocked in 2 more with a single. 7-7. And they're still batting, bases loaded, 2 out. In the dirt. 1-2. Right back to Cody. He knocks it down and throws him out. Miller Lite, hold true moment. Corey Kluber today, 6 2/3 innings. He gave up 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 10, 105 pitches, 68 of them were strikes.
Just watch the movement. It's incredible.
Jose Ramirez on the bench today, driving everybody nuts, I'm sure.
Edwin's trying to ignore him, and it just doesn't work, does it?
Like trying to ignore a dog that's nipping at your heels, right?
Look at him.
You're not going away.
He just won't leave him alone. He's not saying a word to him. He's looking away.
Showing him his gray hairs and his beard. Alcides Escobar comes up empty. It's 1-2. Well, this is a sharp version of Cody Allen. 7 out of 9 for strikes. And a foul back. Maybreeze Villarreal waits on deck. The 1-2. Get a ball right back. He went fishing. Cody strikes him out. 2 down in the inning.
Here's a good breaking ball. You get him to chase it, and when Cody's on his game, that's what he gets. Swings at that breaking ball that are out of the zone, maybe bounce in front of the plate. Well, he gets it. Gomes picks it, gets the second out and his first strikeout.
Maybreeze Villarreal 0 for 2 has struck out, grounded out. And the youngster who made the leap right from A ball to the big leagues. Edwin's like, if I just ignore him, maybe he'll go away. No, I don't think so. 0-2.
Andre, why don't you take Jose out for a walk?
Cody Allen with a 1-ball 2-strike count on Villarreal. In the dirt, almost hit him. And the count evens at 2-2. Cody's 2-2. And a foul right back. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cody Allen fans a pair. He retires the Royals in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 Cleveland. getting the day off, whether he wanted it or not. Brad Keller has pitched really well for the Royals today. 97 pitches as he goes into the bottom of the 8th inning. Yonder Alonso leading off. There is action in Kansas City's bullpen. Yonder slams one right back up the middle, just by Keller. And Jose Ramirez continues to lobby Terry Francona to go into the game and pinch run.
Well, Yonder gets his first hit of the afternoon, a nice line drive, and Keller's thrown a lot of strikes. 68 strikes out of his 98 pitches so far today.
He keeps looking down at Tito, shaking his leg, saying, hey, I'm ready. You want me to go run? He's looking at Tito. Tito's looking at him like, this guy's nuts. You have to love him. That's just great. So Yonder's aboard, and here's Brandon Geyer's first at bat. Bunts to third. Dozier's only play is first. Nobody's home, and all the way to third base goes Alonso. Geyer into second.
Be interesting to see. I think it'll probably be a base hit and an error because there was nobody at first base where Dozier could throw it to. It was going to be a sacrifice bunt. And I'll tell you, he maybe double clutched that ball. There you'll see O'Hearn get back there, but he had to wait till he got back to the bag. He threw it anyway, and it was nowhere near the bag. So let's see how they scored. I'm guessing a base hit and an error.
You know, as it turns out, and it's easy in hindsight, as it turns out, Dozier would have been better off throwing it as soon as he got it instead of double clutching, because he could have thrown it at O'Hearn even though he wasn't at the bag yet. And then he could have caught it. Maybe you'd have had a play at first base. But when he waited, then the timing of the whole play was off, and that caused him to throw it wide of the mark.
Yes, indeed.
So we got a timeout. Indians threatening to add to their lead. Kansas City going to their bullpen. Alonso beats him right up the middle with the ground ball single. And another look at the play. Dozier, if he throws it here and just goes right at the first baseman, they might have had a chance.
Yeah.
But when he waited, everything went haywire.
And he was looking at the player at Dozier. He could have thrown it earlier. It'll go as a sacrifice and error. Second and third for the Indians. Nobody out.
Brian Flynn, the lefty, delivers, and Kipnis with a fly ball to deep right field, deep enough to get the run home from third. Alonso tags and scores, and Geyer tags and gets to third.
And gets him over from second to third. A very productive out by Kipnis. Give him the sac fly, the RBI.
So it's now 3-1. And Jan Gomes coming to the plate. Kansas City still has that infield in. And Hosey's still lobbying to get into the game as a pinch runner. And Gomes fouls one right back. Chased one downstairs. Tell you one thing about Brad Keller. He was in attack mode all day. He only walked one batter. Struck out 5. And a couple of defensive plays were costly behind him. Bounced in front of the plate. What a block by Villarreal.
Yeah, the young kid did a nice job, didn't he? He's done that a number of times today out in front.
Especially when you got that runner at third base. 42nd appearance for Flynn. And down goes Jan Gomes. Second out of the inning, the Royals will back up the defense. And we'll see if Greg Allen can deliver a 2-out hit.
Allen had a 2-out single, RBI single back in the second inning to get the Indians on the board. He's in the same situation here with a man on third. 2 outs.
Now the 2-1 from Flynn. And Greg fouls it off to the right. How about Freddie Freeman with a blast in the 8th inning to put Atlanta back ahead 8-7.
Okay, came back and gave him some life.
Wow. After they gave up 6 in the top of the inning, Boston tied it. He puts them right back in front. They've gone to the 9th. 2-2. Down in the dirt. Another good stop by Villarreal.
You watch him. There's another tough breaking ball in the dirt. He got some glove on it, put his chest protector on it, keeps it in front.
He's just 21 years old. And he's done a heck of a job. And that's going to end the inning. But the Indians tack one on. And will go to the 9th. 3-1 Cleveland. Authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
And presenting Carlos.
Well, we go to the 9th inning. Brad Hand will come on and try and close it for Cleveland. He'll be the 4th pitcher of the afternoon. Corey Kluber, the starter, went 6 2/3, gave up 1 run. Oliver Perez, 1/3 of an inning, struck out the only batter he faced. Cody Allen worked a scoreless 8th, 1, 2, 3 innings, struck out a pair, and now it's Brad Hand.
Good sign for Cody. 18 pitches, 14 strikes this afternoon.
And trying to notch his 8th save with Cleveland. And it's outside, ball 1. He's got the top of the order. Whit Merrifield leading it off. Merrifield has seen some tough pitching from the Indians. They've thrown 65% strikes to him in his 12 at-bats. He came in as hot as you can be with a 7-game streak, 22 in a row on base, breathing fire basically.
Yes, he was. Well, we will see him after today 4 more times this year.
Out of play. Indians will finish the season in Kansas City. Is that a 4? I thought
4 game.
Okay.
3 in Chicago, 4 in Kansas City.
That's right.
They added that 4th game because they knew Andre wanted it.
No longer is it known as the land of Oz, but it's the land of Andre.
The land of Taz.
I'll see you on the plane.
Yes, you will.
1-2 pitch is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They won't have magazines in our hotel next year. Forgive.
Now the 2-2. And he's out looking. Boy, Merrifield, the Indians just have him tied up in knots. He finishes the series 0 for 13. Our storylines are brought to you by your Ford dealers. Corey Kluber continues his tear in the month of September. In his career, he's been dynamite. And the Milkman 1 for 3 with a double. He just continues to roll.
Yeah, Corey looking for win number 10 here at home. And number 18 on the year.
Alex Gordon, 1 out of 3, doubled and scored in the 4th. The 1-1. Now the 2-1. Gordon yanks it foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Hand gets him looking. Gordon takes the walk of shame back to the Royals bench. That is 15 strikeouts by Indians pitching on the afternoon.
That was an outstanding located fastball outside part of the plate.
Hunter Dozier 0 for 3. Struck out in the 4th. John Adams, he's gone to one-hand Drummond. The 1-0. Folks in the shade, they feel energized. They're refreshed. They're up.
Yes, they are.
Brad Hand ready. Here's the 1-1. Right there at the top of the strike zone. And the Royals are down to their last strike. And the 1-2. Fouled back out of play by Dozier. 18,435 turning out on this warm Wednesday afternoon. Indians putting the wrap on a homestand. They're trying to take 2 out of 3 to win the series. We'll be back in a week. One-two pitch. Swung on and missed. Hey, struck him out to end the game. Brad Hand strikes out the side to finish it. He gets his 8th save as a Cleveland Indian. As the Tribe goes to 79 and 60 on the year, they take the series, and their magic number is down to 9. Corey Kluber gets the win. He goes to 18 and 7 on the year. He is the only pitcher in baseball to win at least 18 games in each of the last 3 years. And with this win here at home, it's his 51st here in Cleveland. That makes him the all-time winningest starter in this ballpark as a Cleveland Indian. So a good day all around for the Tribe as they win it by a final score of 3-1. And we'll be back with some final thoughts right after this.